Welcome one, welcome all. Today, it's going to be a way out review. That's right, we're going back to reviews. First game of 2018 I'm reviewing. And going into this game, I was a little nervous to see how the whole two-player co-op thing would be. You know, you have to play two-player. Luckily, I did have someone who would play with me. So, let's discuss this. This is a way out review. As always, we will be looking at gameplay for the first aspect, and then presentation, and then general impact, and then it's the final score. First off, gameplay. Going into this game, I was thinking if they get this right, it's gonna be one of the coolest games ever, because you can only play it as two people. You can't play it solo. So if you don't have any friends, then you just boned, right? And it works simultaneously, like you're in the same game, but you can both, do whatever you want, which is really cool. And it really worked. It really did work. I loved this game for gameplay aspects. I mean, it is so cool. More games should be like this. There's not enough co-op campaign games, I should say.
Come on, motherfucker!
Now, the gameplay aspects, apart from the actual two-player side, were, meh. They weren't, it's not a AAA game, so you're not going to see insane, like, Call of Duty shit going on. And when you finally get weapons, they're really boxy, and one of them is super underpowered. And for the actual game of breaking out of a prison, which is what it was selling as, you only spend, like, the first, 20% of the game in the prison. 80% of the game is out of the prison, which I think was false advertising on their part. But where it does come in for gameplay really cool is that there are so many mini games run to play. You can play Connect 4, you can play baseball, there's so many different things. It's so perfect. Like when they're making decisions of should we add this in the game room, why not? Just add. I would add whatever you want. The more content, the better for me.
Crap. Nice.
Score for gameplay 81 out of 100. That's a pretty good score if you ask me. Pros: awesome story, good characters, the mini games were awesome, and co-op only definitely works. Should have a ton more games of co-op campaign coming in since this worked. Cons: a little boxy. I think that's only because it wasn't AAA though, but still, it was a little boxy. But yeah, 81 out of 100. Not too shabby. Let's see what it gets for presentation.
See him anywhere? No.
Moving on to presentation, I gotta say straight up, the best thing about presentation in this game are the camera angles. Or none. The camera angles were awesome in this game. The way they split it down the middle, it was very nice like that. And then in some cutscenes, it would transition from one character to another. Like when I showed that fight scene earlier, that was really cool. Presentation in the soundtrack Born, not too big. There was only a couple soundtracks I liked that actually stood out, which was one of them was the ending one and then the main menu theme. But other than that, soundtracks were pretty scarce. The way the game looked graphically is pretty much your average video game. Like the presentation for this game is pretty average other than the camera angles. Everything is pretty par.
Let me go! Oh, shit!
72 out of 100. Looks nice, good character design. Cons, lack of soundtracks. I didn't really find that many soundtracks.
People don't. I don't think many people realize that you can make an iconic character without having to go through the character development and whatnot. You can make a character stand out just by their clothes and like have them memorable by their clothes or just how they look. Like Leo's nose is probably visible from space. So yeah, that's what I remember from this character, at least, the most. But we will move on to general impact here, the final category.
Here you go. Good job, Vincent.
I'm sorry, Leo.
General impact. The scene I showed right there is one of my favorite scenes in this game. I'm pretty sure it actually is for me, like the actual number one top peak, because in that scene, I think everyone who was playing that game, unless you saw the ending coming somehow, we were Leo. Like when Vincent turned the gun on us, and we're like he's looking over, like, what? We were Leo. I think that's pretty cool. I loved the ending of this game. I mean, like, there's nothing better a game or movie or TV show or whatever can't do than a really good ending, because that is what you'll remember most at the end. Like when you finish it, and then 10 years later, you get to remember how it ended mostly. Yeah, I loved the ending for this game. Yeah, this game is actually really memorable just because of how unique it is. There's no other game out there that's like this. A prison escape, only 2-player game. It's amazing to see. There should be more of this. I cannot wait for A Way Out 2, if that's ever going to come. However it's going to be. It's going to have to be different characters. But one thing I love about this is the end scene. Because in the end, one of you are going to have to win. And the person that you played through this entire game through, which is I think it's about 6 to 8 hours, I would say. It all comes down to you two guys. You smash the next button. You're trying to crawl to the gun. And then whoever gets there first, right, turns and shoots or whatever. And then one thing I love, though, is after all this time, even though he's a flipper and, you didn't, want them to die and all this, they're still, friends, which is really cool to see. But I really like how one screen fades to black and the other is still there. And it's like, damn, this was a good game.
I just love the music in that scene. That's so on point. I love it when the soundtrack can get right in there and like blend in right with the scene that's going on. But yeah, my final score for Journal Impact is 91 out of 100. Pros, great ending, memorable characters. Overall fun to play for a two-player since there's not that many two-player co-op campaign games nowadays. There should be a lot more. Hopefully this game can push a whole new genre of just co-op campaign games. That would be amazing. Yeah, 91 out of 100. And my final score for A Way Out is 8.1 out of 10. That is correct. An 8.1 out of 10. That's a pretty good score. It's hard to get 8 or above, but this game has done it. Hopefully, there's going to be number 2 soon. I'm on the lookout for number 2. It did release in this year, 2018 January, so it'll probably be a while until another one comes out. But I am looking on the horizon, and hopefully there's another one coming in as soon as possible. But for now, 8.1 out of 10 for A Way Out. I've heard some people say that this is automatic Game of the Year winner. We'll have to see. Find out at the end of the year. For now, this is just me signing off. Dark Reviews. Peace.
She's my daughter, too. This is, Leo.
It's nice to meet you, ma'am. Yeah. Baby girl, huh? I'll leave you guys alone. I'll be waiting outside. Yeah. And, congrats, by the way.